Well, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Here we are. It's Monday night. It's 5 o'clock on the West, 8 o'clock on the East.
That's correct.
Tonight's movie, Weird.
Our episode 128. We have done this 128 times.
128. This is our first feature that is currently a new movie, isn't it?
That, I believe, is correct. And also, I feel like coming first circle, since our first movie was a Weird Al movie as well.
Was UHF our first movie?
Yes, that is correct.
We could just end the whole show now.
We'll see how the night goes. Let's see how it goes. We'll make that decision later.
That is interesting that UHF was our first movie.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I think it wasn't a very official. It was like let's watch that. We'll talk about it next week. I think that's how it happened. And here we are.
We're gonna have to pull. I'm gonna pull that show up.
158 movies later.
I'm gonna pull that up on Facebook. We're gonna find that first show.
There you go.
Or on YouTube.
You work on that. I will explain to the people that if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube and you want to join us, close your browser, head on over to EriDanLive.com. Join us. We will talk all things Weird Al, but then we're also going to talk about other things. And then we're also going to pick a movie for next week. We've only got 2 regular standard run-of-the-mill movies left of 2022 before we get to our holiday movie-a-thon for December. So, I mean,
unbelievable.
Cooking through. We are almost through with season 4 of the EriDan Film Festival. So we invite you, of course, to join us, or you can be in the comments. You don't have to come on if you're like, oh, my hair is disheveled. I haven't shaved in 3 weeks, like me. You can certainly just stay in the comments. We don't have to look at you. It's okay. We're happy to talk to you any way you'd like. We want your input tonight. We're gonna rate this movie tonight as well. We're gonna give it some numbers. And so we're going to talk movies. We've got guests already lining up to join us. And so we should bring some people in, don't you think?
I think it's time.
I think it's time. And there they are, out of the danger zone.
Yeah.
The EriDan tie-dyed prom shirt.
I just, in my heart, I'm hoping you wore that to work today.
Not today, but I have worn it to work. But not
wow,
today.
That's so good.
Usually we would wear it to work. It was a Friday when we were closed at the library,
so nobody would see you.
Oh, people saw me.
You have to explain that all day long. I kind of want you to be stuck.
And my boss there, she said, I would wear that every single day.
Well, tell her that if she would just go to EriDanShop.com.
Exactly. No, I haven't worn it to the college yet.
That's all right. You might want to wait a little while before you break that one in. Speaking of, no, I have no idea. I have no transition here at all, and I can't even find the button. There it is. Let's say that today.
I'm sorry, Dave. This conversation can serve no purpose anymore.
And Dave is
Hello.
Yeah. So, Dave, I believe you have been here since UHF.
No, I haven't. I was not here for when you did the re-rate section. I went back, so I have rated every movie, but I was not here for the first few months.
So sad.
Wow.
That's
when
so
you did the rewatches. You were doing a new movie and rewatch an old movie to catch people up for a while.
That's right. That's right. I forgot about that.
I don't think I'm trying to find that old movie. It's somewhere on.
And it was over 2 years ago.
It was a while.
It was June 8th, 2020.
Oh my
June
goodness.
8th.
So we've got Adam in the comments. He's already expressing a little disappointment over this movie. But we'll hear about that. This is Dan's movie, which this is definitely the closest, the newest release that we have ever done in 100.
Yeah, it came out on the 4th.
Yes, yeah, we
10 days ago.
We're being so topical, which could be why we have less people joining us than normal.
It's also more of a niche movie. I mean, if you're not a Weird Al fan, this is not the movie for you.
Yeah, it's a faux biopic.
Yeah. I mean, even if you're not a fan of heavy metal, I think you could enjoy Spinal Tap. If you're not a fan of Weird Al, I'm not sure you could enjoy this movie very much.
Yeah, or understand it.
So if you're a fan of Queen, you could have, whether you're a fan of Queen or not, Bohemian Rhapsody was a good movie.
Yes. Well, and you're comparing it with movies that are based on that Queen movie is based on fact.
Well, there's they took some liberties.
Yes.
They took a lot of liberties.
But they took a lot of liberties in this movie.
Let's jump into this movie. It is weird. The Al Yankovic story from 2022. The world belongs to the weird. Daniel Radcliffe, Evan Rachel Wood, Rainn Wilson. Eric Appel and directed and helped co-write this with Weird Al. $8 million budget. No worldwide gross because this was only in theaters for like a half a second.
In 18 days.
Once Roku. The critics and audience coming in 86%.
Was it in the theaters at all?
I ask everybody why you chose the movie, but I think we have a good idea.
Well, this movie was never in the theaters. It went right to Roku.
I think it did have some. It had a screening, like world premiere.
I might have done a premiere. So
because there was one of the trivias on IMDb was that the comment in the closing credit song about this is now song's now eligible for an Oscar wasn't true because it had to have been in theater for a week, and Al was begging Roku to put it in at least some theater for a week so the line would be valid, but they wouldn't.
I think it had to be in New York and or LA.
Yeah,
to be eligible. But it is eligible for an Emmy, I think, and it would also be eligible for a Webby.
Maybe a Grammy? Does it get a?
The song could be eligible for Grammy. Sure.
When the stage show comes out, it'll be eligible for a Tony.
Yeah, that's true. So first off, just the fact that Roku is streaming original content is kind of cool, but and Roku's, I think it's on more TVs than anything else because there's so many Roku TVs sold at Walmart.
Yeah. I am curious how many people will actually end up subscribing to Roku solely because of this movie, right? Like how many people got introduced to Roku to the point where they're like, yeah,
I don't think you can. Oh, hello, cat butt. Can you subscribe? I thought it was just a free service that it's advertiser supported.
Well, it's a free channel if you have an actual Roku,
right? If you have a Roku and you want
I don't have a Roku. I just put it right on my phone. I got the app and I watched the whole thing commercial free.
Oh, who knew?
Well, we watched it on the computer.
Right now, I think the big three on TVs pre-installed is you have Roku TVs, you have Android TVs, and then you have the Amazon Fire TVs.
Yeah. Yeah, but
he's been here since the beginning. Adam's been here since UHF.
And you know what? I don't think we were,
and it was a big meh.
I know what it was. We weren't streaming on YouTube every week. I was testing with different services. So probably it's only on Facebook.
It's only on TikTok.
I believe you are right about that. Brittany is here. She's in the comments. He had a hard time with Daniel Radcliffe as Weird Al, and with the mustache, he looks nothing like Weird Al. And they've discussed this. I don't know if you've watched any of the interviews. I watched him. He was on Seth Meyers. They both were on.
I watched that.
Seth Meyers, which was an excellent interview. And and he, of course, there's no similarity in their looks.
He's a foot taller.
Yes, but as Weird Al put it, is that there's an energy, that they felt energy in comedy, and also one of the glorious things I think about this movie. So I've seen it twice now in the past week and a half, and I loved it even more the second time. Right, first time it's like I didn't know what to expect. I hadn't watched the short. I still haven't watched the short that it was originally based on. So I wasn't expecting. I had nothing to expect. I loved it, and I love going into a movie that way. But the second time through, I was definitely able to enjoy how much this is a parody of Bohemian Rhapsody, of Rocket Man, of every one of these movies where you watch the main character rise to fame, get his inspiration, right? Suddenly become a superstar. Suddenly, fall into the dumpster and push away everybody that's close to him, and then have amazing revelation and come back. It was definitely poking fun at all of that, and so well done.
And I also viewed the casting of Radcliffe, even though they didn't mention this, as sort of a, Remember at the end of Pee-wee's Big Adventure when they had the fake movie of the adventure and they had James Brolin as Pee-wee and Morgan Fairchild as Dottie?
Yeah.
It was sort of like that. It's casting people
Mr. Herman,
in
Mr.
biopic roles
P.W. Herman.
that don't look at all like them because it's dream casting kind of thing.
Yes.
Well, it's also like Tom Cruise when he was Austin Powers in the third Austin Powers.
Radcliffe was ripped.
Yes.
Right? Like Radcliffe,
and he is a good actor.
Mhm.
Yeah. But he's in physically great shape at this point.
Agree with Adam.
I disagree with Adam on
Yeah,
this. I really thoroughly enjoyed the Madonna line.
No.
I will admit, I thought the Madonna thing didn't work as well for me and stretched it on longer than it needed to.
I agree with half of that. I have to agree with all of that because
the best gag in the whole thing was the eat it, beat it thing.
Yes.
I do agree with that.
Where he came out with eat it first, and then Michael Jackson came out.
People are going to be convinced. They're going to think the beat it came out first.
That was hysterical. my own totally original.
I also
don't think it has anything to do with food.
I also love when his dad beat the living crap out of the accordion salesman.
Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, that was amazing. My favorite line of the whole movie is when his mother says to him, "Me and your father have been talking, and we have decided it would really just be best for everyone if you could ignore everything you are, everything about yourself."
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
And I did love Amazing Grapes.
You like Amazing Grapes? You need a recording, a full song of Amazing Grapes?
I also like the My Bologna origin story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
Well, him hanging with his with his roommates who become his band was fun.
That was amazing when they come on stage, they perform excellently together. And he's like, I didn't know you guys could perform. He's like, well, it just didn't seem relevant until now.
I know.
That was so well done.
And also him doing Beat on the Ramones, Beat on the Brat. It was just him doing a Ramones song was great.
Adam says he likes Rainn Wilson as Dr. Demento.
He was really well.
Patton Oswalt was Dr. Demento in the original short, and he was very good also.
I mean, can we watch the original short, or do you think that causes?
You should be able to. It's free on YouTube. So you're just showing a YouTube video on YouTube.
Yeah.
But how long is the original short?
2.5 minutes, something like that.
It's just a trailer.
That's not.
Yeah, it's a fake trailer.
Oh, it's a fake trailer. Okay. I said I've never seen it.
Let's see. Weird Al.
Funny or Die. This was what, 2010, 2011?
Yeah, 2010, I believe.
Yeah, here it is. Do you want me to play, or you got it?
I don't. I'm not doing a thing.
Oh.
My mouse was dying, so I was getting myself plugged in.
All right.
It is nice you're not pixelated anymore.
Hey, thank you, Verizon. Thank you.
All right. Let me see. Okay, that looks good.
And you can see how much made it into the movie, too, from this.
It's true. Let's watch together, shall we?
If we get a copyright tag, oh well.
Yep. With Aaron Paul as Weird Al.
I feel like I've seen this.
Hey, your mother found these under your bed. I told you to get rid of this film.
You don't understand me.
Face it, honey. Our boy is weird.
I know he's weird. I've always known.
By changing the lyrics,
Oh
making them about food, you could change the world.
Nobody wants to hear a parody song when they can hear the real thing for the same price.
2 words. Eat it.
Coming to stage next, this guy's a first timer, Weird Al Yankovic.
Hope you guys are ready for this.
Yeah, this might get us. Should I mute it for a second?
I hear you're gonna parody one of my songs.
Maybe.
I like that. Oh, you're so weird.
That kid's got guts.
You're drunk again, aren't you?
Man, why don't you just get out of here?
I need to get out of here. You need to get out of here. I'm the weird one.
I'm
the weird one.
$2 million.
I think you've had enough. I'll tell you when I've had enough.
You're an alcoholic.
I can change, baby.
Get out!
Whoa!
Like a surgeon. Gotten go the very first time.
You're all a bunch of slaves.
Wow, they use a lot of
Songsmith
Yeah.
Weird Al
Oh,
Yankovic was arrested earlier tonight in Miami for
I like
lewd behavior.
What do you want?
I wanted to tell you that I'm proud of you.
What are you doing? Oh!
Very cool.
very
Oh my gosh.
Wow. You would have thought all these years later.
Yep. 12 years later.
So yeah, I mean, they actually made the movie.
Mhm. Yeah.
It was Funny or Die. It was, same director,
Yeah.
same writer.
Yep. And when he goes into his rant on stage about "you're all slaves," that is so Jim Morrison. The band even playing behind him is jamming exactly like the Doors would do on stage when Morrison would go into one of his rants, and it was.
I mean, it's really. I mean, for $8 million, it's really
and 18 days of filming. 18 days is nothing.
crazy. It took us longer to put tonight's shows together.
All right, real quick. Also, now another thing to share. I thought I had it up there. Where did it go?
What do you got?
Hold on a second. Did it move? Oh, that's right. It's in Facebook. Never mind. I found it. All right. So this is our first Monday movie club.
There you go. There it is.
It was UHF.
Good.
First guest, Rich Bebout,
How about that?
also known as Billy Joel.
There you go.
Where'd you get those glasses?
If you have those blue, green, red lights in your car.
Well, it's on the inside and it's down by your feet. Just put it down. It's just party.
That's pretty cool,
It's
though.
party mode.
You were so young then, Eric.
Oh, that
There's
might
Eric's
be
picture.
that
Yeah, you
Eric
showed
like
the
this
inside
is
today.
still out. Here we
Old enough
go.
to do this. Most people wouldn't be. But if you don't put ourselves out there,
This song will get you flagged. You
person 3D. 85, the Stupid Tour. 87.
we were talking about old TV shows when we talked about Happy.
So there we go. That's
There you
where it
go.
all
Yep.
started.
It just seems like yesterday.
Those many years ago.
June 8th, 2020.
Eric's still wearing a black T-shirt.
The first show.
This is blue. So Dan wouldn't have gotten this. But I saw Daniel Radcliffe make reference to the fact that there's a Harry Potter joke in the movie. Where Dr. Demento says that he wants to be his D-mentor.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You have to wait till the next Harry Potter movie to know what that means. But
That was one of the funny bits about the Seth Meyers interview where they're talking about Halloween and showing all the people dressed up as Weird Al. And he goes, and Daniel, you've done a role or two, probably all your roles equally represented probably in Halloween costumes, right? He goes, yeah, I get a lot of Allen Ginsbergs.
I thought it was funny when he said somebody that came to his door, he's actually done trick or treat and he answers the door and there's a kid in a Harry Potter outfit.
Oh, I'm
That's
sure.
funny.
But people go out as Weird Al, but they are actually being, he's a real person.
Yep.
Is he? Is
He's
that
supposed
really
to be.
Weird Al that you know?
I was Weird Al one year for Halloween. Do I have that picture?
I
Oh
don't know.
my gosh.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, I've been a huge Weird Al fan since the beginning, right? So, like, since the first album came out, I have and the Weird Al TV show, which was on for a little while. And does anybody remember when Weird Al used to do? He would take over MTV for like 4-hour blocks with Al TV, and
Yep.
it was awful. But he would basically there it is.
Oh,
I mean, that's Weird Al.
And I thought that was just you in college.
I think it looks like Gene Simmons.
Well, it's my Gene Simmons wig and my Howard Stern wig, and it looks like
a multi-purpose. Basically, it's just
Alan Dershowitz a little bit, actually.
Your Patty Smith wig.
That's Dan's Daniel Radcliffe costume.
Yes. Wow.
And Weird Al, I read that Adam Driver was the second choice if Radcliffe hadn't been available.
Jeez.
I wonder why they didn't use Aaron Paul. I thought he did a good job in the other one. Although the mustache
that
was really bad.
12 years ago.
Yeah.
He's probably aged a little.
He's also more in demand now with the success of Breaking Bad.
True.
So pre-2020 and after 2020, Weird Al had gone on just like at the beginning of 2020 and started doing this, what he referred to as the ridiculously self-indulgent, ill-advised vanity tour, right? Where it was him going out with a small band and doing everything except parodies, original songs. And he picked it back up after the pandemic ended. He picked it up and is still going out and doing more dates just like that. So it's a super weird tour. And now with assuming this movie seems to be getting relatively good acclaim, hopefully maybe more Weird Al music in the future. Who knows?
Well, do you remember when he did stuff about 5 years ago, and he released one a day, and it was a video on a different service?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like one was on YouTube, one was on Twitter.
So 2014 was his last album, like full album.
And I think he said it was going to be his last album at the time.
Yeah. And he was just going to do singles from that point. But that album was his only #1 album on the Billboard charts.
Well, the thing I have to say about Weird Al is I saw him in concert once, and I think I shared this story before, but I'm going to share it again because it might have been during the first UHF show. They did a local contest in New Orleans when I lived there. Oh, thank you. They did a local contest in New Orleans. We'll probably get flagged for this because somebody claims copyright to everything on YouTube. And they had a bunch of comedians that could do a contest to be the opening act for Weird Al. And I refused to do contests because I always lose. So I'm like, why even be in them? And the guy that got in was one of the most hacky comics, and he had to be squeaky clean because there's kids and stuff. So he wins because he brings a bunch of friends to the contest night, and that's how they judged it, was audience vote.
No.
And he does this thing where he ends up going into drag and puts in buck teeth, and he's impersonating his sister, and he did all these dirty jokes. And a friend of mine who was in the audience, he actually was given tickets, and he said, "Hey, you want to come with me and watch this train wreck?" And I'm like, "Sure." So we're like in the 8th row, and he gets up there. He was supposed to do 15 minutes. I think at like 6 or 7, they turned the lights off on him. They started playing music. Somebody had to come on stage and grab him off stage.
Oh my God.
Because he was doing this dirty material. He was getting booed at. And he took his wig off and slammed it on the floor as he's walking off wearing a tutu. One of the funniest things I've ever seen. And the funniest was the next day in the newspaper, because he was so convinced this was his big break that a friend of his that wrote for the local newspaper came to cover the event. And he actually had a quote saying, "I really thought after the show people will be saying Al who after seeing me." Like that's how delusional he was. I could probably find the article.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was my Weird Al concert. The pre-show was so much better. And the concert was fantastic, and the concert was great.
And that person is Elon Musk. No, I'm kidding, guys.
It was Kanye West, actually.
Oh, geez.
Wow. That's
I don't remember the comic's name, but I probably can find the article.
Well,
I'm ready when you are.
We want to move on to some scoring here for this weirdness.
Sure.
Okay, let's. I feel like we have such a small group tonight compared to some of these things. But
we do have a lot of people in the.
It would be good or bad for the final scoring. Who knows how that weight? Who knows? We've had some weeks where we've had like 17 people score.
All right. Well, I'm going to start it since I picked it.
And for the record, I believe UHF only had 4 people who voted for UHF.
Originally?
That was with us going back and including.
Oh.
And ended up with an 82.25.
I know I wasn't really high on it.
82.25. Well, I'm going to start this one high because
Hi,
hello.
I'm the problem.
Another really good thing was the swimming pool. All the cameos.
Herman.
Yeah, the Pee Wee Herman, Conan O'Brien as Andy Warhol.
We watched it the day that Gallagher died.
I know. Yes.
Terrible.
The day the watermelon died.
Oh
Conan O'Brien was on Howard Stern, and he actually did not remember filming it.
What?
Like people started, like when it came out, people were like, "Oh my god, you're so funny." He's like, "What did I do?" Because they filmed it like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
and
I'm funny.
He is so used to, do show airs. It's kind of like this. Like we do this, it airs. There's no waiting, and
I go
to
back
wait
and
2
watch
years.
the episode over and over again.
Yeah, Eric doesn't remember.
I do because I have no life.
How this show even started. So the cameos were great. I think you have to get the joke. If you want to watch this movie as just a regular old movie, it's not. If you want to watch as a biopic of Weird Al, it's not. You have to have seen the Funny or Die promo first. Like I hope they do the Sleeps in Seattle too. Not Sleeps in Seattle. When Harry Met Sally too, that they did on Funny or Die.
Oh, that was a good bit.
Yeah, if they did that movie now, that would be hysterical. Because it ended up being a vampire movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Does this taste funny to you? And I think he spits blood at the window. He goes, I should roll that down.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give this one a 92.
Wow.
I know I'm going to be the highest score, I'm sure.
I don't know. You have to see what Eric says.
Never know.
Go ahead, hon.
Oh, I thought it was pretty funny. I liked all the parodies in it and everything. And it was, I was saying it. It was definitely one of those ones worth watching again. And it was, as long as you knew Weird Al, you kind of get the movie, and it made it really funny. So I'm going to give it a 90.
Nice.
Look at Stacy's face.
She's thinking if she watched the same movie.
Wow,
that's weird.
A little bit.
It's weird.
Wow. Well, I watched it because Eric and Dan introduced Weird Al to me decades ago. And because Daniel Radcliffe, it was an interesting choice, and I know him, because he's Harry Potter. So I thought, well, we'll try this. I agree with Adam that the Madonna storyline was horrendous. I swear, my grandmother hated chewing of gum. And now I know why. She'd kill. She would have gone through the screen to get that woman's gum. Anyway, there are so many funny things, but it is definitely not something I would probably watch again on purpose. Maybe if I was flipping through and I'm like, oh, we saw this, let's watch this again. And no, I'm thinking an 82 is my score. And Reagan is on an airplane, so she can't be here. She said she thought it was funny, and Daniel Radcliffe did great, and she gives it an 80.
Wow.
All right. Brittany, 63. No other comments? LOL.
Fair enough.
And she also says her living room TV does not have the Roku app, so she's camped out alone in the bedroom while everyone else parties in the living room.
Fair.
Adam did like the Weird Al cameo, which if you watch the trailer, the fake trailer, he plays the same part.
Yeah.
And his actual real life wife appears next to him in the audience when they're watching the.
I wondered that shot was framed.
Yeah, that was his real wife. Yeah.
To include her.
Oh.
Who is that sitting next to him? And I never got to go look it up.
Yep, that's his wife.
He's been married since 2001.
Wow.
in Hollywood, and he lives in Hollywood. I mean, that's like ridiculous. That's like forever. Dave?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. You have to be a Weird Al fan to enjoy it. And it also pays to know a lot of the cultural references, Salvador Dali, Andy Warhol, The Doors.
Yeah, Dolly was that was Emo Phillips.
Emo Phillips, yeah. And Dimitri Martin played Tiny Tim. And and so it was fun. I thought it was at its best when music was involved. Like when he's improvising, another one rides the bus at the party. Especially since Jack Black was a great Wolfman Jack.
Yes.
Wolfman Jack Black.
And the breakdown on stage and the whole Eat It thing, as I said before. When music was involved, it was at its best. When it became just sort of the real life drama stuff, like with Madonna, is when it didn't quite work as well for me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it wasn't still good then, but it slowed down, it bogged down. The music is when it really shined. So I still enjoyed it. I'd watch it again, but it wasn't, top tier to me. It was an 80. Very solid movie. I enjoyed it.
All right. My mother says she watched it and found it funny. Remembered Weird Al from way back. Always loved his parodies. Like Daniel Radcliffe. 83. Now, Eric did a lot of parodies growing up.
I did.
And I've got one here. No, I don't.
For a lot of my
dang.
I couldn't find anything.
Oh, darn it.
I did not look for them. I admit they're not good. I was in middle school.
That's okay.
But they weren't EriDan, so I don't have them on any of my stuff. They were Rick and Eric.
Eric.
They were Eric.
Yeah, no, they were not good. But it was Weird Al definitely had a huge impact growing up. Yeah, I love this, right? Because I mean, there actually was like a Weird Al mockumentary done like in the 80s or like early 90s, which used to play on MTV, which I swear I had a copy of, but I was not able to find for this. But I enjoyed it. It's a funny movie. It's an overriding big joke because I mean ultimately they play it. The characters all play it pretty serious, right? And so you have to get the joke. You have to feel the joke and buy it and not be annoyed that it is just one big joke with all these little crazy weirdness and jokes happening in between. But I loved it. I mean, ultimately, apparently not as much as Dan, though, because I gave it a 91. So,
wow. You had to let me win by one.
If you were not, well, I think one of the problems is like, my wife is more than aware of who Weird Al is. She was like, that's okay. I don't have to watch that. When she heard it first came out. And then the second time I was watching it, both her and my son were in the room, and they kind of enjoyed it. I mean, I don't think they would watch it again and again. But I feel like even the idea of watching it for most people is like, yeah, I don't need that. Whether it's straight or an actual real documentary, I don't care about a movie for Weird Al. So I feel like this is a niche. This is maybe not the best movie within a niche market for a very specific type of movie. But I enjoyed it a lot. So there you go. And here comes Adam.
Here's my Adam. I had high hopes for this movie and was left pretty disappointed. But overall, I can't get deep enough. But overall, it wasn't horrible.
Overall, it wasn't horrible.
Wow, that was pretty good.
Wow.
65. 65. That's 65. Higher than my score if you take the Adam scale.
It's like almost a watch again type one.
It is. The thing with parodies is you can catch something new every time. If you hear a Weird Al song, you don't hear every lyric each time, and then when you go, oh my god, that's genius.
But I like the joke about not knowing what the factory made. It was just such a silly thing, but it was still fun.
So isn't it kind of true though?
Yeah. Well, you pull this lever, and then when it goes red, you push this button, and you push that lever.
Right.
And then he just hits the red button for no apparent reason.
Ah! But that's how you grow up. My pap worked at Kaiser in Salem, I guess. I don't know, over in Ohio. Mm-hmm. I thought he made bologna. Because my mom was talking about it one day, I thought, when I was little, and I swear that's what she said. And when I said that when I was in high school, my dad went, I still don't know what he did, but
he was in the mafia.
Probably.
Well, I'm happy to say it's at the very top of our second page.
Okay.
And so it actually, if
it lost to UHF.
Yes, it's below UHF.
I feel like because it is just below Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Oh.
So we've got our two Daniel Radcliffe movies against each other.
Yeah, it's so much better than UHF. I think you guys should all score UHF.
What did I rate UHF?
71, I believe.
Okay.
What did I give it?
Yeah,
that was our first movie.
83. I gave it an 85, and Adam gave it a 90.
Adam, wait. Adam, you gave UHF a 90? For our first movie?
I support that. I support all of that.
So it beat weird because of Adam.
That was before the Adam scale was truly formulated.
Yeah.
Wow.
He did it as a one-off, I'm sure. Then everything started to keep being bad.
Yeah. Weird Al has come out and said he has no interest in actually. There is no interest in doing an actual real life story of Weird Al.
Yeah.
No interest in that.
Well, the thing is, he, in a lot of the interviews I've seen him, and there's a really good one with Bill Maher on his Club Random podcast, which is his non-political podcast. And they're just like sitting there talking. About 10 minutes in, Al goes, "Wait, are we doing is this the podcast right now?" And I was like, and Bill's like, "Yeah, there's a camera there. There's a camera there." And the mic, because I got the room set up. So it's just a conversation. There's no one in the room with them. And they're just sitting there talking. And Bill Maher's smoking pot. But
of course,
Weird Al is so like familiar. Like he's one of those people that it's just like, oh yeah, I remember him from high school.
Yeah.
He's like that guy.
Yes.
He's an icon.
Yeah.
And you hear that about Henry Winkler too, is the people that just sit down and he's just someone you sit down and just chat with.
Yeah, he's very comfortable.
That's one of the biggest jokes in this is the idea that he ever would be, somebody who's doing alcohol and doing drugs and being mean to people, because no, he has such a reputation of being squeaky clean and like the nicest guy you'd ever meet.
Yeah. What I've always wondered is, and my mom always brought this up, was there was Frankie Yankovic, who was the polka king of Cleveland.
Yes. Unrelated as far as I know.
Totally unrelated. Like, what are the odds you have two people named Yankovic that are involved in polka?
For accordions.
I did love the line about, maybe not the best, but the most well-known in a very specific, narrow genre of music.
The Chevy Chase episode of Club Random is it's anything with Chevy Chase being in
Chevy is always awkward.
He's a little mental right now, I think. Yeah. The other thing that Bill Maher said was when Bill Maher started stand-up, the same year Weird Al did My Bologna in 1979, that he was going to call himself Weird Bill Maher. Like he actually can go with weird.
Can't copyright weird.
I did love the dad. When his dad's talking to him about, he lost his hand and, there's somebody died at the factory. So there's an opening. So, hey, you want to come on down? There's an opening for you now. It's like the most dangerous place in the world. But I think my son ought to work there. Who was probably like 12 at the time, too.
I don't want to work at the factory.
It's like, in Beaver Falls, you go to work at B&W, work at the mill.
J&L, yep.
But at least we knew they were doing steel of some sort.
Yeah.
Some of you worked at Mare China. There were a few other industries besides the steel, but steel was most of it.
Got the cork.
Yep.
Yeah.
My dad worked at the oil refinery up in Freedom. So,
My dad worked at none of those places.
My dad worked at Leonard's Auto Supply.
Yeah.
And prior to that, Rosenberg's Auto Recycling. He had two career. He had two jobs. Well, three, I guess, because then they had their TNA sales. I can't believe that's what they called it.
So what did
Tools and accessories? They called it TNA sales.
So what did people think of the post-credit scene?
Wait, there was a post-credit scene?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed the post-credit scene. Did I miss the post-credit scene?
Yeah, there was.
That's right. You called me back in. Huh?
You might have to go back and watch.
Hold on, I'm pulling up my Roku app.
Dan's gonna go watch it now.
Yeah.
I ended up with I have all of Weird Al's CDs, and I think I've held on to the vinyls I bought originally, but I never purchased the big giant collector's set that came out with.
Oh, the squeeze box, yeah.
Actually, wasn't an accordion that actually
like $500 or something like that.
Look at that artwork on his hair. That's amazing.
But the fact that it's packaged in an accordion.
This whole package was so amazing that in hindsight, I regret so much not getting it.
You can still get it, but it'll cost you dearly.
Well, yes, and who needs that?
So here's the problem with the app: is it shows like the upcoming shows at the bottom. So I'm just like, all right, it's over.
Oh, I remember the post-credit scene now.
Maybe I did see it.
You may have, because it seemed kind of. It wasn't major.
Well, it's kind of major.
Most credit scenes aren't very major,
right? Usually.
Oh, this was funny. They kind of did a like they pointed out somebody. Manager production Savas Vianyalu. They had like a big arrow pointing to it. Wait, I gotta turn this music off. Hold on.
Somebody has the Squeezebox collection available on eBay for $6,000.
Yeah, you can get a copy for under $1,000.
Oh my god!
If you're looking for it.
Well, it was very limited, and it didn't sell out immediately. It sold out within a matter of, I think, like a month or two, though. It sold out pretty quickly.
Yeah, there is a copy on eBay for $900.
There are people that were complaining that it's not totally complete, though, and pointing out that there's like maybe half a dozen tracks that weren't on it for various reasons.
Just go to the exchange up in Robinson, see if they have it.
Yeah, they'll have it. Yeah, they'll have it at half-price books. Don't worry about it.
You're gonna have to be a pretty devoted fan. Because the albums, it's like this many albums, but the accordion is
yes.
Like, all right, how are you? How big of a Weird Al fan are you?
Did you just make me sit through the credits for no reason? I just went all the way through. There was no post-credit scene.
I don't think it's at the very end of the credits.
The grave scene
where the song started, isn't it? It's the grave.
Oh, so it's not the end of the credits.
Yeah, it's a mid-credit scene.
Okay,
it's a
mid-roll
movie.
All right, I think I did see it.
Okay.
Just sort of an homage to Carrie.
Let me see. Wait, I missed Brittany's comments. She said that could change my score. I want to know why. What happened that could change your what could change your score, Brittany? I wasn't paying attention. I missed it.
Oh yeah, okay, I did see that scene.
Post-credit scene, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it is the post-credit scene. Maybe that makes it all better.
Or mid-credit scene, I guess it is.
We'll see if Brittany changes her score. I think we should jump into talking about what movie.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, I know. What movie for next week?
Gracias.
It's time to head over to the Wheel of Reels.
There aren't many people around this week, so that cuts down on the number.
I have a feeling,
I think it might be Adam this week.
We might spin and have to respin if if somebody comes up who's not with us. Yeah. So are we ready? I think we're ready. I have no idea. There's a lot of names on here.
160
here, but I know that there's a couple of people who have a lot of names. A lot of spaces on the wheel.
Adam probably has the most.
I have one.
I know you have a lot, Dave. You came up last week and you forfeited. So we'll see what you feel. Let's see what happens this time.
I recused myself.
Who gets to choose our movie for next week? It's gonna go to Brittany. Brittany again.
I mean, how many names does she have on there?
Oh, she had a double feature at the beginning of the month.
That's right.
Not a regular choice in quite some time. So
I think when we do the double feature, they should also come off the wheel for.
No, it's not.
That's kind of.
Yeah.
Maybe season 5 will change the rules.
All right.
But I thought that's how we used to do it. That once you had a double feature,
we used to spin. Remember, we used to spin with the genre wheel.
The genre wheel and the double feature wheel was a separate one.
And then we spun the wheel of year you were born, and then we spun the.
What's your favorite color?
So many wheels, 18 different wheels.
New Back to the Future merchandise.
There is Back to the Future merch.
Where?
Wherever merchandise
backtothefuture.com.
I'm sure. Well, I know that Floyd had teased it working up towards November 5th. There was something big coming, and then
they're bringing out a new deluxe edition of Headquarters.
I did see this. The monkeys headquarters. I see.
I know you don't like all the the alternate takes and the
I don't
the
enjoy
demos.
I don't enjoy the deluxe edition I already have.
I know.
It's one of my favorite all-time albums. I love that album. It's tight. It's so good. There's so many great tracks on it. Do I want to hear 17 hours of them?
Oh, there we go. Good. Brittany's chosen.
Whoa, there it is.
Hey, that was my choice too.
There it is. We're gonna continue,
but not the Harry Potter movie. It's another movie starring
Weird Al as
yeah,
Harry
it's
Potter.
another Weird Al movie.
It's another
Daniel Radcliffe. Yeah,
that's awesome. I am 100% behind this choice.
And this is where Adam starts to get on board with the Harry Potter stuff. I thought the first two movies, the ones he really didn't like.
And I think that's what a lot of us agreed.
Yes, Adam, really.
But maybe he's sick of Harry Potter.
Well, Christmas is coming, so we're going to take a break.
Yes, that's true. We have very little time left before we start into the holiday movies.
Is true. So, and then everything resets. Just so you know, the current wheel structure has no meaning through Christmas.
Cool.
So all of that gets put on hold. So Harry Potter, HBO Max, Peacock, available for rent, and all your fun places that you want to.
Library.
Probably at the library. Probably. If you want to read the book before next week, you could do that too. There it is. Yeah,
Adam, I feel your pain.
There's only 5 more after this, Adam.
I think you're going to get a break after this, and we'll have to see. We'll see if this is where we convert anybody, or if the people who haven't been digging it continue to not dig it. But I know Adam's seen them all. And I think a lot of people indicated that this was their favorite Harry Potter movie. So who knows? Who knows?
Well, it changes directors. It changes direction quite. The feel is very different.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So there we go. So next Monday, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. That was pretty easy. So
Prisoner
now
of EriDan?
We can talk about what else you've been watching.
We should probably soon get a list of potential Schitt's Creek episodes to watch. I should ping Amanda about that.
That is true. I really don't know if I have any interest. I don't even know if I have the ability to watch Schitt's Creek, but I'll try.
Just you wait. Okay, so Schitt's Creek. I was in Atlanta last week, and on the flight home, on the flight there, I watched the new Top Gun movie. Finally, I liked it.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
I really liked it. I was going to watch Everything All at Once, Everywhere, and whatever that is.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Yeah, 2 minutes in, I'm like, I'm bored, and I'm like, everybody keeps telling me you're going to love it. You're going to love it. I'm like, if I'm
2 minutes.
I'm on an airplane. I'm already, I'm like, I'm going to.
It's probably not a movie you want to watch on a screen this size.
Oh, I had my laptop out. It was a big screen.
Dan watches
it was this big.
Dan just said that's how he watched Weird.
Yeah, I watched it on my phone. I don't have a Roku TV.
The New York Times is not going to hire you as their movie reviewer. Is what we're finding.
I do. Well, I do very small movie reviews.
They might give a Roku TV though.
I did watch the entire first season of Schitt's Creek.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I watched the first season into the second season before. It wasn't that I ever consciously stopped. I just didn't get back to it.
Yeah. So when we talk about it, I've got a lot to say.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. And I just watched the first season. I think it's 8 episodes of Reboot.
I have that in my queue. Yeah.
Oh, Paul Reiser, Johnny Knoxville with white hair, Keegan Michael Key. It's really, really good.
Okay.
I've been watching season 2 of Avenue 5, which is the Hugh Laurie, Josh Gad science fiction parody.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable.
Is 2 the newest season, or did they do it?
Season 2 is the season that's currently airing. They're, I think, 4 or 5 episodes in.
Wow. Oh, I also watched the new Sylvester Stallone TV show. Can't believe I'm saying those words together. King of Tulsa King.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty good.
You would recommend that?
I would recommend if you like The Sopranos. It's got a little bit of that mafia, a little bit of comedy.
Where is that? Where is that stream?
That is on Paramount Plus.
Oh,
new episodes on Sunday.
You never go to Paramount Plus.
Only one episode out so far.
It's too many services. Paramount Plus came out after my my willingness to even install a new app. I'm like, I'm over it. There's too much to watch.
Well, I had the CBS Express or whatever it was called, and then it became Paramount Plus.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
I didn't know CVS had their own.
Not CVS, CBS.
Oh, I understand.
Yes, I picked it up at Walgreens.
We literally just watched this before the stream. Millie Bobby Brown.
I've never been able to convince myself to get into it.
You would not like this.
Yeah.
Wow.
I could get the first one of these. Honestly, the first one I thought was kind of cute and a little clever. This was neither of those things.
It didn't look good.
I didn't hate it, but I won't recommend it because if it's this or putting a fireplace on your TV and staring at that for 2 hours, it goes about either way. You know what I mean? It's like, well, it's not bad, but yeah.
What's it about?
It's she plays Sherlock Holmes' sister.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the first one of these made, she was still very young looking. You know? So they definitely played that more. She breaks the fourth wall a lot. It's kind of cute. It was a little clever.
Yes.
It's not a little less cute because she's not 14, 15, right?
Right.
I don't know.
I didn't even know that it was the same girl when I saw the ad for it.
Yeah, she's like 18 now, 19.
Yeah. Wade's like, oh, let's watch this. I'm like, I don't want to watch that.
Yeah.
Adam saw Black Panther 2, highly disappointed. He
Ah.
shouldn't have made a sequel.
I've heard good things.
I wasn't that enamored of the first movie, to be honest. I felt it was
to go.
I have not
purely
seen it yet.
mid-level Marvel.
Black Panther's the only Marvel movie I haven't seen yet. Now there's two.
Wow.
I didn't dislike it. I thought it was fine, but it was mid-level MCU. You know, it was no Iron Man. It was no Guardians of the Galaxy. It was just okay.
Yeah.
My son went and saw Black Adam.
How was that? Did he like it?
He said he liked it.
Oh.
He said there was a trailer beforehand for the new Shazam movie.
I don't remember who I told about this when. So if I told this last week on the show, let me know. Quentin Tarantino was on one of the shows and was plugging his book, and he has a book about the movies. I don't think it's his first one, but he was talking in it about this reviewer in LA that he absolutely could not stand. I guess there were two big reviewers in LA that were the big powerhouses, and this one, he thought she was totally clueless. She had no idea what she was doing, and he named her, and it was Jimmy Kimmel goes, I read that in the book. And sometime later, I happened to see that Back to the Future was 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I went, who gave this a negative review? See, went on Rotten Tomatoes, and yes, it's the reviewer that Tarantino said was utterly clueless.
Oh.
Yep.
Wow.
Can't remember her name, but growing up, he was a massive movie buff, and he just could not fathom what she was talking about.
Watches all her movies on a cell phone. So
back in the 80s was hard.
How are you supposed to know? Watched it on a Motorola flip phone.
I watched it on an Etch-a-Sketch.
Exactly. She's got the candy bar phone with the snake, and she's watching her movies that way. What's going on?
Okay, so we have a differing opinion on Black Panthers 2.
Kelly says she loved it. A little long. I think she's talking about that movie.
I think so.
And Zach, who has been with us occasionally, said he loved it. So I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna go see it this week. I hope I still keep.
I mean, it's tough to fill that Chadwick Boseman's shoes.
Yeah.
I mean, they're obviously not recasting it, but even just the role he played in that movie.
Yes,
it's got to be rough to sort of script around that.
Right. I mean, if they do it better than they did Carrie Fisher in The Last Jedi, I'm all in.
Oh, yeah. A bad CGI Chadwick Boseman would be.
I'm just saying. If he doesn't fly through space using the Force, I'm good.
She didn't look right.
So what's up next in the MCU anyway?
The Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special is soon. There is a teaser trailer out for that, which of course I have refused to watch. But that is out. Actually, the funny thing is
well, Ant-Man 3's coming up. I know.
Kevin Bacon posted it on Twitter.
Was it really Kevin Bacon?
How would you know?
On Twitter anymore. I can't believe it's not Bacon.
Bacon.
You were waiting for that, weren't you?
I've been saying that all day. No,
Ant-Man 3.
Oh, Ant-Man 3. That's right. Quantum Mania.
Yeah, with Kang the Conqueror. So this will Loki feeds directly into this then.
And there's definitely trailers out there if you're interested, but I refuse. I won't do it. I won't do it.
We did go see a week or two ago. I don't remember exactly when. We did go see the new George Clooney.
Julia Roberts
movie. It wasn't bad. It was fun. It's far from a classic, but it was fun. If you're into that kind of movie, and they do have great chemistry. I mean, that's the thing. In any sort of romantic comedy kind of movie, you have to have chemistry between the stars. And those two are such good friends and have been for so many years that there's great chemistry between them.
Yeah, you always get the feeling that they enjoy working together.
Yeah.
That they enjoy,
Well, they were on Kimmel together, same way that Weird Al and Daniel Radcliffe were on Seth together, and it was hysterical. They were bantering back and forth, and then Kimmel had the bright idea to, how well do you know George? And so he had her put a blindfold on, and he had all these guys lined up on stools with beards that she had to feel their faces and figure out which one was George Clooney.
They used to do that on old game shows. That's hilarious.
And she said, "Why do I have to?" And he's going, "We'll have George do it next time. Don't worry."
Nice. He'll feel her beard.
Of course, Guillermo was one of them, which was interesting.
Better. That's awesome.
You could have been one.
It was worth seeing. If you're into a rom-com type movie, it was fine.
I did watch the new Patton Oswalt comedy special on Netflix.
And?
It was all right. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Definitely not made for kids. My kids. Yeah. So, what I'll say I like most about it was 58 minutes. And I will say I appreciate a comedy special that is a tight set, right? Yeah. That it's like, all right, this is a refined. This is not going to. I don't need the same person doing comedy for an hour and a half.
Yeah,
right. Those comedy specials are. That's just way too long. It's like, well, at that point, I could watch Enola Holmes 3.
Well, that's what made the Marx Brothers movies so great. Is they worked that material in theaters live day after day after day, and then incorporated it into their movies. So they had worked out what worked and what didn't after months.
Yeah.
So that's why it was just only the best stuff survived, which was great. Chappelle's Saturday Night Live was interesting. He really walked a very fine line between funny and anti-Semitic in his monologue.
Oh no.
It was close. I don't know if he crossed the line or not, but he certainly tiptoed around it.
He also did a 20-minute monologue because I guess a few of the writers boycotted the show that week.
Oh my.
And so they had a few fewer sketches. And it's like, well, if the SNL writers boycott, that might be a good thing.
Yeah, there's some questionable sketches these days. He had a couple of good ones, though.
We haven't watched that show regularly since Sherry O'Terry and Will Ferrell were on.
Wow.
Yeah, we quit watching after that. It just got really bad.
That was a while ago.
It was
quite a while ago. So
that was before children.
Yeah, Chappelle has sort of worn out the angry black man shtick a bit. He's played it a little too long. He needs to find a different persona. Chris Rock has managed to move from sort of different styles of comedy over the years and kept himself fresh. And Chappelle has sort of settled into one groove that he can't seem to get out of.
And I think SNL, if you remember, they've booked Chappelle on election night, like the week after election
3 times
night.
in a row now. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's been.
And his 2016 monologue was great after the Trump win.
Yeah, because he was like, give him a chance. You know,
Yeah.
it is what it is. He didn't claim fake news and fake election, and it was stolen. And so.
Yeah, I know. I watch so infrequently. I'll maybe catch 1 or 2 episodes a season. For
Weekend Update is still pretty good.
Yeah, Weekend Update's still the highlight.
Michael Che and
I'm glad they were able to keep Michael Che on, right? Because I feel like that it is the one most reliable. Well,
they usually have a different writing staff for Weekend Update,
and they also have some. They still have some good cast members. I mean, Heidi Gartner is very funny. The guy who plays Trump, I can't remember his name. He's not the best, most versatile comic, but his impressions are awesome.
Yeah, he's a good impressionist. He's like the new Daryl Hammond.
Yeah, and so they've got some good cast members. The writing is where they're very hit or miss. They have some really good weeks and some awful weeks.
Yeah,
I think if they get somebody who is himself a writer in, they tend to have a better show. If they get someone who's just an actor or a musician in and who isn't really like when Lizzo hosted, it was terrible.
Yeah,
because she's not contributing anything to the writing. She's just going to do what you tell her, which is great. But without the writing staff, oof.
Yeah. And the Amy Schumer was pretty good because she's a writer.
Because again, yes, exactly, she's a writer.
Oh wait, Adam got his tickets for the XFL.
Oh my!
The Seattle Sea Dragons.
Man, that's $20 you'll never get back.
Sorry, Adam, by the way. Sorry the Steelers beat the Saints. It's the only time I root against the Saints.
Well, yeah,
and the Seahawks.
If you're beat by the Steelers, you're not good.
I don't know. They have their stud back. TJ Watt's back.
Watt's back, and Pickett's growing into the role.
They're saying that Pickett is having the very similar first season that Terry Bradshaw had. Adam spent $300 for season tickets. That's less than one ticket.
He didn't say dollars. He just said $300.
Oh,
so maybe he gave him a $300 DVD.
Chrysler 300. Ain't suck. Can't even say Saints.
Oh, I can't wait to go see the Aints.
When the Aints, well, that's what they were back in the paper bag days. They were
Well, I've told the story. Our local affiliate, Fox affiliate, our Fastband Global Cast, where I worked in New Orleans, we did their website, so we shared the skybox when Mike Ditka was the head coach. And we used to sit in the skybox, and at halftime we go down to the 50-yard line around the third row. We have great seats because everybody left. Cleveland's first win when they became the Browns again was against the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, because they were awful for a good seasons.
They might have been 1-15 that year.
Yeah.
And their one was the New Orleans Saints with Mike Ditka.
I mean, I got no problem with the XFL if you just want to go and watch football and you don't really care about
Bears.
It probably will last 5 seasons and disappear again.
Section 133, First Road, home team side. Adam, just so you know, I'm actually on the team. It only cost me $200 to get a spot. So I'm on the field.
Yeah, are they playing at It's a Lot Stadium?
Yes, It's a Lot Stadium. I honestly didn't even know there was a team. I guess I haven't been paying attention.
Yeah, there was a really good, several good jokes about. You remember the February FTX ad from Larry David during the Super Bowl? His crypto ad. Because I got the end. Well, this is the future of finance. Not so much. I don't think so. No. And now they're bankrupt.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, Larry David was right again. In an ad paid for by FTX.
Oh, Jim Haslett's their head coach.
Haslett, used to go to church with him.
With Jim Haslett?
Yeah. When he was an assistant coach for the Steelers, he went to our church.
Wow. Oh. Rod Woodson's the head coach of the Vipers.
Look at
Hines Ward's the head coach. Holy crap! This is like all Steelers.
This name drop is sponsored in part by Aglets. Oh yeah, baby. You know what I'm talking about.
Well, Greg Best is a head coach.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Greg Best from Blackhawk.
He was a Stiller.
He was.
I know he was. We used to buy tickets to have lunch with him for Christmas. For Christmas fundraising.
Cody on because you know.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Hazlitt used to. It was one of those things where he would refuse to say, but you could tell from what he didn't say what he meant. He was very frustrated under Cowher because, and I'm not saying Hazlitt would have been right, but he wanted to be a disciplinarian, and Cowher was a player's coach and wouldn't let him discipline the defense when Hazlitt wanted to play hardball. And Cowher's like, nah. And Hazlitt got really frustrated.
I can't even buy season tickets, Adam. How did you get season tickets? Did you? You must have bought what was left.
Tickets. Now he wants tickets. You got to know the right people.
Yeah, I could buy a suite. $500 deposit for a suite. TBD. Where's the schedule? Oh, it's just reserving. That's all. Tomorrow's league starts today.
Azkaban is 2 hours 22 minutes. Okay, about the same budget as the first two. Okay.
Oh yeah, see, he was just saying the old Saints coach Jim Haslett. That's right. Haslett went from the Steelers to the Saints. Yep. Wasn't he also at Arizona?
He didn't he play at IUP? I think he was from IUP originally.
Eric's just like,
you guys go ahead.
Oh, would you rather show us a TikTok of Taylor Swift, Eric?
I would love to show you a TikTok.
This has been Sports Talk, when Eric had no idea what anyone was talking about.
We're going to spend all next week talking about Quidditch.
Well, that we understand better.
We're into that. Yeah, no, I could give you the update on the Taylor Swift tour. No, I'm not going to do that. I think we're good. I am anxious to see what happens next week with this with this new Harry Potter offering.
You see Wade's 2 weeks of growth.
Is that November?
Like Adam.
Trying to catch up.
This is your no shave November.
Mm-hmm.
We finally convinced him to do it, and I'm like, why did we do this?
What were you thinking?
I don't know.
I think it looks good. I think you're going to be ready for Christmas if you let that keep growing out.
I told him that he had to shave some of it because it was looking really. I don't know.
Hagrid.
He looked bad. It was bad. So
yeah, you got it's got to be clean. It can be long, but it's got to be clean.
Yes,
I actually had my. Seeing Adam's latest comment, I had my position in the Amazon queue to buy a PS5 come up, and I just let it pass. Because, like, how much gaming do we do these days? Not much. But it is seems to be becoming available finally.
They are, because I had gotten an offer. I'd seen an offer where you could get in. You could register for a chance to get a PS5, and I did, and I love it. It's a great.
There's almost no exclusives. Is the problem?
No. At the end of the day, we have started using it for all our streaming services. So it is our primary. We got rid of cable and we use YouTube TV.
So it's as good as a $30 Chromecast, right?
It's great for that, and it also Fortnite looks really good on there.
That's why I can't watch one. Man.
I play a lot of Fortnite. I will say. I'm almost to my Gwen Stacy skin on Fortnite for those. Almost there.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Norman Osborn will take you out.
You don't know what Fortnite is? Or you don't know what Gwen Stacy is?
I don't know the things about Fortnite. I don't know. I know it's a name of a game that Kent plays.
Yeah. You can basically, it's a game where you can get skins. The skins don't make you a better player. The skins don't do anything for you except change what your person looks like, but it is the main You can also get other thing like silly dances or things like that, but it is the main thing that you're kind of going after in the game as you fight and destroy people. In this season, you could get yourself the Spider-Gwen Stacy skin, which I have the one on the left. I have that one already. I'm looking to get the Gwen Stacy skin. So it's just you just have to earn points. You get stuff.
Okay.
So the more you play, the more you win.
So do you play against people online?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 100 people, battle royale. And so, but
what's the highest position you've ever finished?
I play with my boys. Huh?
What's the highest position you've ever finished?
I've won rounds before.
Okay.
Not an excessive number of rounds, but I would say this season I probably have 4 or 5 wins.
Okay. Cool.
So I'm okay. I'm not like I'm sure I have been owned by more 13-year-olds than I would care. But I'm okay. Adam says he was mad he missed getting the Vader skin. You see, Adam's out there playing. That's what all the kids are doing. But they do. They have made contracts with pretty much everybody imaginable. So, but they have seasons, and once that season's over, you can no longer get certain characters.
So you keep the skin, but you can no longer get it if you didn't have it.
Is correct. Right?
Okay.
So I
Which
have
keeps people playing.
All the Black Widow skins, including the one that was only available for a short amount of time.
So do you have like a closet that you keep them in once you earn them, that you can just pick and choose which one you want to have?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you go to the locker and you can pick what you want to wear. Or what
you can put on your Debbie Gibson skin and
put on your Debbie Gibson skin, right? You could. They haven't gotten that desperate yet, but you never know.
She's lobbying for it, I'm sure.
I'm sure she has recommended it. They've done a lot of Marvel people. They've done all the Star Wars people. They've done not all the Star, but a lot of them. And so so I play with my boys a lot. They like to play, so the 3 of us can play against
your boys a lot.
People. So that's kind of fun.
That is fun.
And so Adam has said that he plays with his kids, and they have him playing Among Us now.
That's hilarious.
You don't love Among Us. It's okay.
Hearing about it from my kids makes me laugh because Reagan was playing it. She was at Wade's brother's house, and his 4 kids, well, I guess 3 of them, were playing with her, and they were teaching her. She was on her phone, and she's asking my niece questions, and finally my niece goes, "You dummy," and kills her because it was only. I think I don't even know if that was the correct word, but it was just the most hilarious story to me that.
That's funny.
She had no clue what was happening and got killed.
And that's how life works.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. There's your lesson.
Yeah, pay attention.
So people have Thanksgiving plans, the usual getting together with family type stuff.
I stopped at my mom's tonight to talk to her about it, and nobody would answer the door. So
we should pick a movie next week that's appropriate to watch over Thanksgiving weekend.
Exactly. Dan.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Really,
that would be a good one. Yeah,
the only Thanksgiving movie in existence.
No, it's not. For your consideration is sort of.
Well,
isn't the Family Stone?
Yeah, I was gonna say that was
Family Stone.
Thanksgiving and Christmas. I have to remember that.
Die Hard.
Just we can whatever movie we watch, we can add the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown to that.
There you go. Well, we're keeping Dan awake.
Halloween, of course. I just mixed up my holidays, but I think there is a Thanksgiving.
There is. It's really cute.
Thanksgiving Charlie Brown special. I just forget what it's called.
Yeah,
you're a big turkey, Charlie Brown.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There will be no Clutch Radio on Saturday.
Oh,
what's up with that?
We finally had. I'll be in LA shooting this.
That is fading out. You've officially started the fade.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about it, but you're not producing new content. You're promising.
We had a brand new show last week.
Yeah, one show out of like 8 years. No, it's been.
That's Rafi. Rafi's only has 2 weeks left of teaching down there too, so he'll be back up soon. So we have a live show Thanksgiving weekend. We will be doing a show probably together in one room, even.
Wow.
Or we may drive. But I will be in LA shooting the last day of the sitcom, so we'll have it ready to have people come see it or screen it. The 14th of December, we're doing it here, Adam. And then potentially like the 28th of December, we'll come to Pittsburgh.
Where are you going to do it in Pittsburgh?
Wade recommended a place.
Yeah.
In Grove
So
City?
once you
Well,
finish,
there's one in Swickley and there's Grove City too.
Mm-hmm.
so once you finish the pilot and get it in the can, editing and everything done, what's the business side of this like? How do you shop it around and all of that fun?
So the screenings, we're going to do at least 3, and we're trying to do them with. We're trying to do at least 1 or 2 where there's nobody that knows anybody in the show. Like here on Bainbridge, obviously it's going to get laughs. Everyone's going to say how great it is because it's going to be my friends and family, and everybody other than Rick and Tiffany are all local, and Dean. So most of the people, all the crew's local. So they're all going to bring their friends. It's whoop-de-doo. It's
Dan's
all
going to take everybody to. Dan's going to go to Paris.
No, and then the Pittsburgh one, obviously there'll be a lot of people we know, but I'll be the only one there from the cast, and then we're gonna do one in Boise, Idaho.
Oh, the Heartland.
We're going to the Heartland, and we're gonna screen it in front of total strangers.
Wow!
And then we'll have a camera facing
on
the audience.
Dan's cell phone. Now everybody's gonna
exactly.
Right, they'll all be sitting like this.
It's going to be a fake.
The showing.
It's going to be airplane seats, and everyone's just going to be watching a little monitor on the seat in front of them.
What's funny is I have to actually buy a DVD burner for our editor because he doesn't have one, or a Blu-ray burner.
Yeah, they're not expensive.
No, so we're going to burn it onto a Blu-ray and take it. They said we could upload it to their server, but I don't want anybody to have like their own copy of it.
Right.
And anyway, so after that, after we've, there'll be issues with some of it. There'll be some lighting issues. What, Eric?
Oh, there'll be issues. Go ahead.
Thank you, Kramer. And then once we've done the 3 or 4 screenings, then our good friend Richard Malzahn, we're going to hire him to go through and do all of the visual effects, like fixing signs that are wrong, that have Hudson Auto Center where we filmed it, take their name out and put Lenny's Super Mega Autoplex.
He'll be digitally adding a mustache to Dan.
Yeah, he'll be doing things like that. Eric will be holding crayons up. Eric's ADD is kicking in all of a sudden. He's like, "Look,
did
crayon."
you buy any more to try to get your Black Widow?
I did. Actually, my wife picked up 5 of them for me.
And did you get a Black Widow?
And I got 2 Black Widows.
So congratulations!
One to play with, one to put on display.
Look, I think we bought an embarrassing number. The Goodwill in our neighborhood is going to benefit because we got a lot of Thors. We've got a lot of the Thor. Look at all the stuff you get. You get some.
Well, those are nice.
Dan, continue. I'm just playing.
Reagan likes Thor. Thor's her guy.
Dan's so quiet.
Oh, I was watching your pictures.
Wait, what'd I do? I muted myself somehow. Hello?
No, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't hear you. I turned my volume down. Sorry about that.
So then our executive producer down in LA will then make random
call
phone
all the executives and all that
and say, "Hey, we got the show with Rick Springfield, to you and Tiffany, because that's really who it is, because they don't know who I am. And can we come in and see you and show it to you? It's half hour, and hopefully he can get 5 or 10 meetings, and just takes one.
Magic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, Dan, all you have to do is you drop a cassette in the mail.
Oh, that's right. That was the funniest. He's like, I just got this cassette, and it's already our most requested song. I'm going to play it again.
Just mail it to Netflix, and then sit back and turn on Netflix. They're going to be like, you're not going to believe it. We just got this in the mail. We're going to air this right now.
The good thing is when you do screenings, you don't have to get music rights. So we will have music in it that we want to have in it.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Because it's not considered a public performance. Is that why?
Yeah. And for film festivals, you don't need to get music clearance for film festivals.
Mm-hmm.
So Daniel Radcliffe is doing all the music for this.
Oh, that was my question about this. Did he do the singing? I can't remember what I read.
That was all
Weird Al dubbed the singing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Weird Al did re-record those songs for the movie. So those were new recordings available on the soundtrack for Weird.
Yes. And Coolio being in the audience looking upset.
Mm-hmm.
And he's dead now.
This is true.
Adam, do not make the drive to Boise. Just come to the Bainbridge one.
He might be.
Shave off your beard. They'll never recognize you.
All of them. I think Adam would be the Easter egg on all of them.
Yeah. He'll be in every single shot.
We'll take photos of the group every time and have Adam in the group every
He'll be like Rich Hall when he was on SNL, where he would do the things of him appearing behind the Pope.
Exactly, right? But he'll actually be there. We don't have to Photoshop him in. It'd be fantastic. All right. Well,
all right, sweet.
I think it's time to say goodnight. Prisoner of Azkaban. I'm so excited to have gotten this Harry. I'm so glad we're keeping this Potter train rolling.
Like once a month or so, maybe. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I think it's good that we're going to do this, and then we're going to have a little break.
Yes.
Watching the three. But I'm excited that this is it. I said up to this point, this we will now match the Back to the Future trilogy, which we watched. At least we'll have 3 Harry Potter movies.
Yeah.
That we have consumed.
We'll do James Bond next.
Good. I mean, at this point, we could have done all the James Bond movies by now if we had not done, take the money and run. No, I'm sorry.
Hey, this is cool. Guess what the flight number is from Seattle to Pittsburgh? The nonstop flight on Alaska Airlines.
88.
412.
That's probably why.
That is
well,
probably
that's
why.
cool.
There you go.
Cool. All right.
Well, everybody have yourself a great week. Do not watch Clutch Radio on Saturday. So you have extra time to watch the extended version of Harry Potter's.
And all the extras.
There are so many extras. Adam said he's a little sad about the Prisoner of Azkaban. So he's already, we'll see if that affects his score.
He needs a break from Harry Potter.
He had a break. He had Weird. That was a break. And we had a double feature the week before that. It's been weeks since we've watched Harry Potter. We'll be fine. Wait till Sunday. It'll seem like it's been a month. All right, everybody have a great week. See you.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Bye.
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.